everyone. Today is the first video about Bitcoin that I will do. I want to dive a little bit deeper with the analysis of Bitcoin because we have actually several bullish scenarios here. Of course, besides of it, we have some bearish, but the highest possibility now is, of course, for the bullish scenarios. So I want to share with you the thoughts of those scenarios. What I'm going to do also, I'm going to share some thoughts about the some indicators beside Elliott Wave, of course, which is the main tools that I use for trading. So we're gonna read a little bit the indicators of MACD, see some reversal and signals in it, and as well for the Bollinger Bands. So we're gonna use this just as kind of like supportive signals, but the main tools that we use here is of course Elliott Wave, which is the most for me is the most reliable tool that a trader might use for a success trades. And besides this, we're gonna read a little bit the DXY because, as we know, the DXY has some relation with Bitcoin, kind of. Not always, of course, but somehow the main course or the main direction of the DXY might also affect Bitcoin in a reverse way somehow, especially when we are in bullish terms. So we're gonna see a little bit for more supportive signals and yeah, to get much more clearer what is going on in Bitcoin. So first of all, I want to start. Of course, we all know already from the last videos the main bullish scenario that we have here, which is the diagonal 1 2 3 4 5, and as we said, the target of wave 5 is exactly what it is now, and we just hit, of course, the target. As I mentioned, that is beautiful to see, and we see that it has respected exactly the level, the fib level that we have provided. However, looking at the structure of this wave 5, for me it looks a little bit like more impulsive than just a zigzag now. So what I was expecting much more is a zigzag wave, right, for a wave 5, which is the most common. However, the things looks a little bit different here. We see kind of an impulse again, right? So impulsive waves that we can see all together. So we can see 1 2 1 2 and 3 and then 4, and we might have a 5, and we might get into a new target, which is this resistance, which is also very good. And of course, it's still supporting even diagonal the same diagonal trend that you see 1 3 and 5, which is much more logic. And by the way, if we take this as wave 5, as diagonal wave 5, we can see that this is another common target as well for a wave 5. All right, so the 0618 is only the primary target, but that is also very common target, which is the 0786 that the wave 5 might reach as well. And as you can see here, we have a resistance from the high value of volume here. Here we have a point of control. Of course, once we break this, then expect that we have to reach, of course, this level, which is, of course, in coincidence with this trend line of the diagonal, as well as the fib level, which is very common, and also a much more clearer view for the wave 5 of an impulse. So what that means? That means our scenario here might still the same, right? Might still a diagonal, and that we might see after a three-wave correction, right? That's very normal. This is how it should work. So our scenario for the next is correction, yeah. I think now with this update, I have to move the things. So yeah, this might push higher now with the A, B, C, which is is much even better. So let's say if it reaches this level, and the correction, yes, starts here. So we might reach, yeah, we might start the correction from there. Why not, right? Everything is still possible. We still have this wave 5 to accomplish. Already we are in the halfway. However, we have a strong resistance here, which is a point of control, so be careful, of course, with the trades. Yeah, so this is the scenario that I'm still looking for. However, another bullish scenario again could be on the way, which is this one. All right, so if we have another bullish scenario, could be a triple or double one twos, all right, which are like 1, 2, then 1 and 2, all right. So the 1 should be here actually. So we have here a 1, a wave 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is for the 1. Then we have ABC correction for the wave 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, which is in a diagonal kind of, right? So this is also as wave 1, and then we have ABC correction again for wave 2. So that makes a double 1, 2, and what we see here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as I mentioned. So why I mentioned this scenario now, because as I told you, I saw kind of a very impulsive wave structure, right, and not just a zigzag. Because a zigzag is an impulse, but it's a small impulse, then a correction, and then a small impulse, which make it as a zigzag. However, in this structure, we see only a big impulse, which is kind of tend to be a different scenario here, which is very possible as well, because it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is what I want to share with you here, guys. So if that is the thing, so this could be a 1, 2, and this is whole a wave 3, all right, wave 3. Then we might see a correction 4 and 5 without getting the 3 wave down onto here, yeah, for the diagonal. And this is the difference, all right. So the difference is that when we correct after this wave 3 here, sorry, the correction might be very shallow, all right, and not deep as the diagonal scenario, all right. So both are bullish. However, this scenario is a faster bullish to the upside, that we can make a continuous uptrend, all right, directly, while the diagonal that I mentioned before could have a deep correction for a wave, big wave 2, and then move up very explosive and fast as well, all right. So both are bullish, and this is exactly what I want to share with you. So of course, guys, here there is no any financial advice. So what I share with you is my thoughts and my scenarios. So, and of course, choose right and wise. Now, what it could be the bearish scenario for the future thing. So the bearish scenario, which is a very low possibility here, because we already have 5 ways, we see a lot of impulses, which significantly says that the, the trend or the big correction that happens here on the 4-hour charts, okay, has ended, all right. So we have here, if you remember, our all-time high was as a wave 3, and we have A, B, and C, all right. Here we have a diagonal, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, and here A, B, C, and potentially an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, of course, there is some problem with this structure here, because in an impulse 1, 2, the 2 is not allowed to hit the 1, right? So which is kind of like lower possibility, and that what makes this downtrend very weird, right? That it looks like it's not finished. But why? Because we cannot really find a good count for it. However, if we look closely, we can count here one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for 1, and then go 2, um, yeah, as 1 and 2, and then 3, and then 4 and 5. So it might be okay. It's a weird structure, which it could be an expanding diagonal here. Here we go, and which it could be completed. All right, so that is from my point of view. That might be an expanding diagonal which has completed, and we might have already bottomed already on 53,660 almost. And the more, yeah, the more impulsive waves that we see, the more evidence we have for a bullish reversal. Now, of course, we might see some rejections here because, as I told you, this is a strong resistance. We have a point of control here. Um, yeah, so let's move a little bit also for more evidences or indicators, signals that we can see here. So what we can see actually on the daily here, we can see on the MACD, we can see a clear reversal for the trend, all right? And also on the daily chart, we have started to see the volume of the MACD has started to move to the green, plus the cross of the trend signals, all right? So this is a very strong signal for MACD when it crosses, especially on the downside, yeah, when it is very down, and we start to see a green volume with it. So that is a very strong signal on the daily chart of Bitcoin that we might have reversed to a new higher high. Okay, so for MACD, this is for MACD. Actually, let's move also to the Bollinger Bands. Gonna use this to make it less complicated. So on the Bollinger Bands, we can see also that the indicators shows that this wave has very strongly, yeah, went outside of the band, right? So this is when it goes very outside. That means it kind of has found a bottom, all right? So how the Bollinger Bands works is that the price action move in between those Bollinger Bands, okay? And these Bollinger Bands can be a little bit flexible and elastic, all right? And what you see here as orange is actually, yeah, the mid price between both bands, yeah, between um, the two borders, sell or high, right? Sell or buy. So what we can see here that the price action has also moved down and then moved up again and then moved down again and then moved up and down again and tested the orange trend line. And now what we can see is a beautiful breakout for the mid trend line, right? So we can see this candle of today, which is hopefully that it close over it. Yeah, if we close under it, then we might go for a second test, right? So this is what the indicator says. Of course, I don't trust it as Elliott Wave, but it's a nice indicator, right? If we close this candle over the orange line, that means we are moving up to the upper side of the Bollinger Band, which is very bullish. So these are my updates for Bitcoin, and I hope you like it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and see you in the next video.